Hello everybody, this is OneWill here, and I'm going to be casting a game between TheLittleOne spawning as the red Terran at the bottom, between the Morrows, or MouzMorrow. I'm just calling him Mouz, because Mouz sounds cooler. Anyway, yep, so both players are Terran, and we're going to be playing on Blazing Sands in a 5-game series, I think? Yes, it is 5-game series. Both players are fairly strong, as I've observed before in the replays. I actually haven't watched this replay, so this is like the first time I watched it. If I'm surprised, well, it's actually because I'm genuinely surprised? Surprised. That's the word. Anyway, alright, so both players are actually starting out fairly standard with a supply on 11 SEVs. Oh no, 10 SEVs actually. Both players on 10 SEVs. Oh, except for TLO, he's going on 11. God knows what he's doing. Anyway, so both players going to be opening fairly standard with the supply depot near their base. None of them are going for a wall off, as it is a Terran versus Terran. So there is actually no need for a rush. I mean, the only reason you'd block off is against either Zerg or Protoss, because they have melee units and they can't really shoot through the blockade because they don't have guns, because they're melee units. Anyway, both players are getting their barracks right about now. I think, yes, Mouz actually got his split second in front of TLO's, but we're just going to see how that turns out. Mouz actually grabbing a early gas, so we might actually see some early Marauder action in this game. But I'm just going to swallow my words, because TLO is also getting his early gas. So we might actually see both players going for Marauders. Look at that. Those SCVs are just going to meet halfway. I mean, that's how mirrored both these players are. Because look, both have their barracks up. Both are making Marines. TLO's scouting, and so is Mouz at the point. Let's just check out the well, not resources, because we're not actually going to resources. But look at the APM of these players. I mean, look at Mouz. He's on 231 actions per minute. Seriously, have you ever tried boosting up your actions per minute? It's seriously very, very hard. Mouz has already got his orbital command up, and TLO's just going to be right behind him. Yeah, so TLO's actually getting his second supply depot and an early factory, so we might actually see some Hellion harassment, as TLO has done before in the past, as TLO is a very, oh, we don't say very, but he is an aggressive player to an extent. He always goes for this supply line. I mean, that's just TLO. That's his thing. He rolls with the Hellions and burns up SCVs as he goes. Both Miles has actually got his tech reactor. So has TLO, and they're both still pumping out SCVs, so we might see some later game action as neither has attacked each other yet. Look at that. Mouse is actually grabbing early expansion to his natural in hopes of having a higher economy, and yeah, so TLO actually has, I guess, the higher economy right now, because he's got the higher economy, because he's TLO. And let's just see his income tab. The income tab actually shows Mouse, TL. Oh, okay, they're both fairly equal. They're both on 20 harvesters, so yeah. Mouse is actually going for a second barracks, as TLO is going for a starport, which is weird. But these Marauders are and Hellion are actually going to move out, but Mouse is going to spot that with his watchtower. So that Hellion might actually go into his natural and roast up a couple, or not. TLO's actually working on the back of the base. I mean, it's really effective, as in, look, Mouse can't really see that happening because, well, he doesn't have anything there. So always make sure to actually build something there or keep something there just to show you that back of your base not being, or taken down. As when the back of that base does get taken down, they can just harass repetitively to your supply line. And let's just see, as TLO is actually continuing to harass Mouse's, no, MouzMorrow. Yes, I just had a mouth seizure. Everybody has mouth seizures, but I just tend to have them a lot. Mouse is actually going for a Marine Marauder Medivac strategy, I guess, or I hope, because he's getting the standard free barracks and an engineering bay for attack, so that might actually work to his advantage. And TLO is grabbing his natural, while making a Banshee, so we might actually see some supply line harassment again from TLO. And yeah, so this is actually fairly strong play from both players, as they both have a fairly, well, equal army, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, so they do not have a equal army, as TLO is just slightly in front. Mouse is actually going to be putting a missile turret, which is highly effective. I mean, if any Banshees come rushing in, that missile turret's actually going to be able to uncloak that Banshee and just take it down one-on-one. Those Marauders and Marines are actually going to move in, but move out as they spot those stimmed-packed Marines, and those Marauders in the bunkers are just going to, you know, annihilate anything that comes too close to them. But TLO has actually broken through the back of the base. I think I missed some... Yes, I did miss some Helion action. Look at that. The Helion's just roasting those SCVs. Yep, so TLO actually did break those rocks and send in a couple of Helions, like I said, to burn up those SCVs. But they're just going to have to evacuate, as the Marauders and Marines are just going to take them out. TLO is actually getting a orbital command on that natural, and so is Mouz. But Mouz has lost... Look at that, this SCV count to TLO is just double of what Mouz actually has right now. So TLO is in a fairly strong position, continuing to harass with those Helions, but they're going to get taken out eventually. That Banshee's still killing things with its missiles, I guess. And Marauders are just going to sit there being like, why can't I angle my grenade launchers up? And that's the strange thing. Why can't Banshees like shoot air? Oh, look at that. Throwing down a scan to take out that Banshee. Anyway, we're going to see a more Hellion harassment? I mean, TLO, seriously. Look at those. Those Marines are just going to be roasted by Hellions if they come too close. TLO's actually transferring SCVs from his main to the expansion, and he's going to be calling down a couple of Mouz, is he? Yes he is. He's going to be calling down a couple of Mouz. So, we're just going to see his income skyrocket there. Yep, as I said, I mean, 1,300 minerals per minute is, like, great for TLO, as it is opposed to the 800 that, Mouz actually has. TLO is actually going for 4 barracks, which is kinda strange, mixed up with Hellions and Banshees. So we're just gonna see continuous harassment with the Banshees, and Hellions, and Marines, and Marauders. And, yeah, so that's gonna be a very fun game to watch. I mean, Mouz actually doesn't have anything at his expansion. Oh, yes, he does have things at his expansion mining. But Mouz is very, very short on gas, as he is nothing. His gas count is just staying at 79. He's not making anything else that requires gas. I mean, all Mouz can do at this point is to mass Marines and hope for the best. But look at TLO. He's got no problem. He's just taking the gas out, and he's like, yep, I got my gas. Yep, that sounds bad. I know. TLO's got gas. TLO's got gas. Nah, I'm just saying, guys. TLO is in a very strong position. So I'm not surprised if TLO can win this off just by harassing the supply lines and getting Mouz to GG. I mean, Mouz does have a fairly scary army. To the units. I mean, Mouz has 13 Marines opposed to 10 Marines, but I guess TLO's army size is just stronger. And look at those SCVs. Double Mouz's, actually. And TLO's actually going to be setting up a couple of more gas, so he's demanding really heavy on gas, so we're just going to see what he's going to do there. Mouz is actually dropping up a scan, just to check out the enemy base. I mean, you're going to be able to want to do that, because if Mouz had just walked in, he would have lost his whole army to that. I mean, you got the high ground here, and you got the Marines just coming out of nowhere. Look at that, 5 barracks with 2 tech labs. Or tech labs. I was going to say tech reactors. I mean, tech reactors, that'd be awesome, but it'd be overpowered. Actually, no, wait. 7 barracks. 7 barracks. Well, I guess TLO's just got way too much money, and he's just pumping out Marines like that. I mean, look at the unit count. 19 Marines to 17 Marines. But you have to realize, Mouz actually has stim pack on those Marines, which are going to be highly effective. Oh, so does TLO as well. So we're actually going to see a very high-class battle, I guess. And look at those Hellions just riding in, burning up those SCVs, just like that. And look, if you can snipe a mule, I mean, seriously, basically, if you could snipe a meal, that's 300 minerals gone. You always want to snipe that meal. Look at that army size. It's just massive. I don't see how Mouz can affect that. Look at those marines just frying there. I mean, I'd eat that. Wait, did that sound strange? I mean, well, you could at least taste it. Look at that, Tlo just going straight up that ramp, going for the main, knowing that he's about to, and Mouz has GG'd. I was about to say, knowing he's gonna win, but Mouz just GG'd like that, so I guess this game has been, well, has gone to Tlo. Tlo's an extremely great player. I mean, his micro's pretty awesome, so is his macro. But Mouz is also a fairly strong player in this game. And, yeah, so that's one round to TheLittleOne against Mouz in a 5-game series. Okay, just check out the RVB channel, and I'm going to be posting up all the other 4... 5 minus 1 is 4? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I'm going to be posting... See what StarCraft does to you. You get your maps, and you're like, 1 marine, 2 marine, 3 marine, 4 marine, 5 marine, minus 1 marine equals 4 marine. See, why did I use marines? Anyway, maths does teach you, well, StarCraft does teach you maths. So I'm just putting that out there. All those other videos are going to be on my channel, or the community channel. And yeah, so this is OneWill checking out. So see ya guys for next time. For the next time. The next. I'm just going to stop talking. See you guys.